All right, jerk-offs, I'm back in your ears. Thank you for tuning in yet again to the Union Jack-Off. It is me, Daniel Muggleton, proud owner of a brand new The Union Jack-Off Twitter account at The Union Jack-Off. If you guys enjoy the pod, get around that. We tell you when episodes are out. We put other things up there that might be of interest. We let you know when people you've heard on the podcast have shows. Isn't that nice? And while I'm here, I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to Aussies in London. I know a lot of Australians do listen to this, but the ones in London, there's a thing called Aussies in London that organize social events, and they have been very lovely about supporting the Australian comedians' dope comedy nights. We had a great one at Angel on Saturday, our first time at Angel Comedy. Just want to say a thank you to them for having us. We are back at our spiritual home, the Backyard Comedy Club, this Sunday, 8 p.m., March 3rd. We have Heidi Regan, we have Nick Sampson, and we have Adam Vincent. That is a killer lineup. That is a ridiculously good lineup, and you guys should all get down to that. I will be there hosting as always. All right, let's rip in. Been a good week. I've been in London for a whole goddamn week. Now that's exciting for me. Not exciting for you because it means few anecdotes about weird places in the UK, but don't worry, I'm off to Bournemouth tonight, which is a new spot. And then on Saturday, I'm in Folkestone. So, you know, there's going to be some small town English chat coming up in next week's episode. But I want to dive right in to our guest this week. We have Micky Overman. Micky Overman is a Dutch comedian. I met her very early on when I was here. She's lovely. She's hilarious. And I really wanted to get her on because this is the Brexit month, even though it looks like the deal's getting pushed back. Theresa May flip-flopping, Labour finally being like, this is a shit idea. Maybe we shouldn't Brexit right now. I still want to get a few more European comedians on, just in case, just to have a chat to them about how they feel about the whole thing. And the reason I'm excited to get Micky on is because I was just in the Netherlands, and it is really hard to get Dutch people to tell you about being Dutch. They don't like it. They slip and slide. They get around any questions you have, like any interest. They don't give you anything. They won't even tell you the national dish. Like I was trying. I was there. I was like, what should I eat? What's typically Dutch? And there was like nothing. There was nothing going. And I found that really interesting, especially given, you know, before the UK, the Dutch were the colonial power worldwide. Shout out to the Dutch East India Trading Company. How can a colonial power not be all about their culture, not be all about spreading their culture? English people can't wait to tell you about England. But the Dutch, they keep it pretty sneaky. But I got to say, having this chat with Micky was absolutely illuminating. I had no idea that the Dutch had their own little weird culture, and especially what they eat. I think there's a reason that they didn't want to tell me about their national dish, because it's fucking weird. It's definitely not a tourist thing. Definitely not the kind of thing where you're like, hey, we should definitely tell people about this to get them coming to our country. But no, and the other reason that I thought having a Dutch person would be interesting is because of all the countries in Europe, the Dutch actually stand to benefit quite a lot from Brexit, because a lot of the UK, a lot of the firms that are based in the UK have said that they will move to the Netherlands if Brexit actually occurs. Like they'll go there because it gives them that kind of central location, being able to get to America and stuff. Obviously, the English-speaking, the Dutch, they speak English at a very high level. And so it's kind of weird. Like maybe Dutch people are a bit pro-Brexit. They're like, yeah, I mean, let's get all these firms and all these jobs into our country, beef up the old economy. But look, I'm going to let Micky tell you all about that. As always, if you like the podcast, please tell someone, or please get in touch with me. I love hearing from you guys at Dan Muggleton, or you can even email me if you're into formal means of communication. muggletondaniel@gmail.com is where you can find me. All right, I'm going to dive into Brexit, episode number 2, with the Netherlands, Micky Overman.
Yeah. You can feel the power in this Right, you know? Feel it coming with Dutch. Drum cake.
I like making shows, I think.
Yeah.
More than just gigs.
You like the show. You like the hour.
I think so.
It's-
I mean, it's early to say this. I mean, I'm making my second.
Because the first one's
I'm
done.
writing the second.
Making it. I like making it.
Making is
Then
alright.
it makes it seem like it's a movie. You know, there's more elements than just sitting with a pad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like. I mean, people who've done 10 will probably laugh and be like, no.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say it's because you're like European or something. You know, it's like classic European.
Yeah.
Wants to make a show.
You can say that so that's basically the concept that I'm working on now. Is so I'm going to do a Dutch comedy show, but like just make it up.
A Dutch comedy show, like as in this is a traditional Dutch comedy show.
Yeah, but just make it up.
Yeah,
because the feedback I get is like, oh, you're not very Dutch. Like you should be more Dutch. Like people would like that. So I thought I would make a show where I just say, okay, great, and then just make one.
Why would people want you to be more Dutch?
Because like someone said to me, or my director said that it's not that they want you to be more Dutch. It's that they want you to use your Dutchness or otherness as like a way of commenting on the British.
Right. Okay.
Which is what we talked about earlier. It's like this thing of like, I'm like this and you guys are like this.
Yeah.
And
British people are like, oh, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, we are like that.
Yeah. they like it being about them. That's a British. I mean, if you look at history, like modern history, there is a pattern that they like it to be about them.
Yeah.
That's a huge part of it. It's like, how can we make this war about us?
Yeah.
We'll be a part of it. Yeah, good.
So I get what I need to do, but I've decided to not do that.
You decided not to do that at all. So you're like, I'm doing it, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
That's where you're at.
I'm basically not doing it at all.
But like, are you very Dutch? I don't even know what very Dutch is.
That's my point.
Like all I got is like,
I think I'm very Dutch. Yeah.
like Robin van Persie wearing clogs and smoking a joint. That's Dutch.
Yeah.
But is it?
Did he?
Maybe. At some point. Probably. Like,
They told him to be more Dutch on the field. He was like, okay.
Yeah. Do people actually, let's start there. Clogs. Is anyone actually, are they an actual thing?
I had them.
But
Here's the thing. I don't think they are like they used to be.
So there was at least a history of it.
Yeah.
I was like, to me, they just seem fake. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, we used to totally wear these wooden shoes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, there was just, in the Netherlands, there was all this extra wood and they just wanted to sell it. So they invented this story.
No, people wore them like on the fields and stuff, working on the fields.
But why? Because it's cold? Like, what's a wood shoe for? Are they walking on water?
Protection, I think.
From
Because
what?
the hard surface. So like if you're working on the field or if you're working just anywhere that's sort of like, would be tough on your feet.
Pre-rubber, pre-leather.
I mean, anything better. I mean, anything's better than wood.
That's what I figure, yes. I'm just like...
But I remember
how early on is it like, let's get a wood shoe? We need that wood shoe.
I remember sort of my grandfather had them and he used them probably for gardening and stuff.
Right.
And then... But I think he would be even then one of like the remnants of people that would still use that. And then I think my dad, because he loves his dad, was like, I'm going to get all my kids some wooden shoes. And then when we worked in the garden...
We'd wear the wooden shoes? You wear the wooden shoes?
I mean, I probably did once and then was like, it's not...
Isn't it just painful?
It's very painful, yeah.
Like, it's like a barefoot, but inside a wooden floor.
Yeah, it's awful. Yeah. They're not good. But I'm not disputing that. I think they're going to make a comeback.
And Micky Overman, you defend clogs.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
No, they're not good shoes. No.
But like, but your dad bought them just for the family, just to be like, hey.
Yeah, and I think also he liked how they looked. You know how British people will have like, out in the countryside, and they'll have wellies outside the door.
Yeah, the gumboots.
I think my dad liked the sort of sight of a bunch of clogs.
The aesthetic.
Yeah,
he liked having them as he walked in the door.
Yeah.
Just here's my family's clogs on the left.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
Dutch and in the door. Like, that's okay. I mean, because I don't know, like, I don't think the Dutch are like a particularly patriotic. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
I don't think so either.
I don't think, it's not like, we're fucking Dutch.
But
you're gonna love this. We're Dutch.
Yeah, but
Look
it's
Dutch
like
shit.
where you go.
Yeah.
I mean, in the big cities, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Me, I don't think so.
Yeah, because you're Amsterdam, right? You're the capital.
Well, I moved around a lot as a kid, but I lived sort of like 25 minutes out of Amsterdam for most of it.
Yeah. So you moved around the Netherlands a lot, or just like around in general?
The Netherlands a lot.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, around in general. I lived in Canada as well before this.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
But like as a kid or as
as an adult.
Adult.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've moved as an adult, but as a kid you're going around the Netherlands,
Yeah.
different bits.
But for most of it, I probably lived around like 25 minutes out of Amsterdam, and I studied in Amsterdam. I went to uni there.
Okay.
Yeah.
University of Amsterdam, the main one, the fancy one. People I know went on exchange there. I think it's very well regarded.
Is it?
I think so.
What, in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I know that actually because there's an exchange program because my boyfriend in college went to Australia.
Right.
On an exchange program. Yeah.
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 We do it. We exchange. You guys don't even know.
Yeah.
We're coming across. We're coming across, not absorbing the culture.
Yeah.
Being like, so where's one of these cafes I've heard about?
It's my absolute favorite thing is people when they hear I'm from Amsterdam go, oh my God, let me tell you my story from Amsterdam. It's like everyone's story is the same.
What's the story? Give me the story.
The story is this. They
Yeah.
go to Amsterdam,
Here we
they
go.
smoke a whole lot of weed.
Yeah, nice.
Right? They get really, really stoned,
Uh-huh.
and then they go back to the hotel and shit themselves.
Well, I mean, at least there's a twist in there. I just thought it was
But
going
it's
to
the
go back
same.
to the hotel and go to bed. And
It's
you're
the
like, whoa.
same every time.
Yeah, but it's like, isn't Amsterdam like surely for like especially English people like such an entry level holiday? You know what I mean? It's like it's nearby.
Yeah.
They all speak English.
Yeah.
And there's just like set things to do.
Yeah.
Smoke
Smoke
weed,
weed.
go to the Anne Frank house.
Yeah.
Go to a sex show. Go home. I don't know if that's the order.
I think without the Anne Frank house is mostly what people
Really?
what people
They
do.
skip the Anne Frank house?
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. Oh man, I actually goofed. I was just there with my girlfriend, right? She'd never been before, but I'd been to Amsterdam before. And we went to go to the Anne Frank house and it was all booked up because you guys do this like weird online booking thing.
You guys.
Yeah, you guys.
We are the Anne Frank house.
Yeah, no, just the Dutch.
Yeah.
I like lumping people in. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
favorite. Everyone's responsible for everything. That's
Sure,
what,
yeah.
that's how my mind
I'll
works.
take responsibility.
Yeah, it's
for
like
you.
when I'm over here, I'm like, you guys to like a crowd in London and like about the UK, and they're like, dude, we're like German, like these guys are from
Yeah.
America, and I'm like, you guys, all
Yeah,
right, you
you
guys in
did
this
it.
room. Yeah, so it's like it's all online. Like there's not really like in person ticketing or just like at the door ticketing, which is like efficient, I guess, but kind of lame.
Is that because it used to be queues outside the door?
Ah, okay.
So they probably just went, we need to do something else.
Classic Netherlands. Just immediately there's a problem, we will solve
we
it.
will solve it.
With an
Yes.
efficient system.
Yeah.
that is beneficial for anybody who plans ahead.
Yeah. I used to
actually-
live on the same street as the Anne Frank house.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very central.
Yes, it was very fancy. It was like when I was in uni, I lived with a friend who knew like a dodgy guy who did sort of anti-squatting, you know, like guardianships.
Well, no, please, anti-squatting.
Yeah, so in the Netherlands, squatters' rights is like a very real thing.
Okay, sure.
Very real thing.
So if you want to squat somewhere,
Yeah, still
Netherlands
from the
is for you.
60s, they have a lot of rules that if, you know,
Okay.
if a building is empty and squatters get in, they do actually have rights.
Wait, like immediately?
I'm not exactly sure how it works, but yeah, there is some,
Right, because in
because
Australia
there used to
you
be such a housing shortage that
Right.
it was like all these empty buildings and anyway.
No, just because like in Australia it's like you need a 10-year kind of unbroken
I mean, you can't
possession
have it. You need like 12 years.
to have it.
To
But
have
they
it.
can't just kick you out.
They can't just kick you out.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm with you.
So, so then what companies do, or like dodgy people,
Dodgy people?
dodgy. Well, companies, they have like these big like they put people in there for like 3 months before it gets renovated or something. So
Right.
and that's quite cheap. But this dodgy guy that my friend knew
Hmm.
did kind of that, but kind of illegally. We paid him in cash, but we lived. But
you
we
lived
lived
in the
like
house.
yeah, we lived
And it was legal.
super
kind
central.
of?
Not really, but
It just
kind of like no one cared.
Yeah, right. So you just paid him cash. It was like
I paid
off the books
€200 cash to live like in central Amsterdam. It
for
was
like
crazy.
a few months.
No, we lived there for a year and a half. Yeah,
For €200?
a month.
A month. I thought it was just like the whole time, and I'm like, all right, that's definitely not legal. Like,
No, no.
just a one-off payment.
But
you guys
€200
lived
a
there.
month is
That's crazy
very
cheap.
cheap. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's sick. And just
Yeah.
like, I guess there was like no lease or like anything.
we had to light our own boiler, like with like a
like a match.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it was very dangerous. I don't know how I should have blown up.
Wait, just like every day, or just like when?
Yeah, there was a certain draft that seemed to come from nowhere. It was just this really old house, and we just couldn't figure it out. But it was definitely just pointed directly at the boiler had lost the case. So there was just a little flame. It was just this little thing and a little flame.
Pilot light was just going out. Oh no!
And then so sometimes you would be in the shower because you had lit it,
Yeah.
and then it would go cold, and you're like, oh, the draft, the mystery draft. Yeah.
I like that. Seems like living at the absolute lowest point before homelessness. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
That's just above. Like
Yeah.
it's our place. Like we pay rent kind of.
Yeah.
But like. We are exposed to the elements. This is glamping.
But it was to us, it was like amazing because
so central.
to live that dead center. I mean, the university was a 5-minute bicycle ride away. That was amazing.
Oh man, the goddamn bikes!
Goddamn
Bikes in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's. I think it's good. I don't know. That's Amsterdam seems like it works.
Yeah.
Which
Why are you confused?
because like given the degree of difficulty, you know what I mean? It's like we got like legalized prostitution, legalized drugs, like. These fucking tourist destination of like, anyone who just wants to get high and look at prostitutes, right? Like all that's in like one place, and there's like all this art and like proper education, all this business.
Yeah.
And it just works.
Yeah.
You're like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cause it's small too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm impressed that they can accommodate all those things and like not sacrifice anything. Is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's just my impression of it. Cause like, I think like London, it's kind of like, it's like it's dirty, the food's bad, the rent's high.
Yeah.
But you get to live in London, so just deal with it.
Yeah.
Whereas like Amsterdam's like, no, like there's all these things, but we're gonna keep it nice.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like, and that I like that.
I don't know how they do it,
Yeah.
but I know that since I've moved, when I come back there, I'm like, look at this lovely village where everyone's nice.
Yeah. And here,
And you don't have to get on a tube.
the tube is gross.
It's obviously very efficient and amazing, but it is gross. Yeah.
It is gross, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it is the best
It's the
probably
best, yeah.
city rail network in the world.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
I've been in New York. People try and defend New York. I'm like, no way. Like the tube is like you can get fucking anywhere so quickly.
so quickly.
Yeah, but it's
Like
it
the
is
amount
gross,
of
though.
the amount of
It's definitely
distance.
gross.
I also, because of the tube, I don't know where things are like connected to each other in London. Whereas
Right.
because we ride our bicycles in Amsterdam, you know which bits are connected to the other.
Yeah, and
But-
you have that weird grid thing where you're kind of like it's like a semicircle going out.
Yeah. But even like the bits outside of those main canals,
Oh right.
you kind of just know.
Right. Whereas here you're just like
Whereas here you come out of the ground and you're like, this could be anywhere. This could be anywhere.
I just know where I pop up,
Yeah.
and then I know that I turn left after the
Yes.
pop up.
Not even that. I just immediately get my phone out
Oh yeah.
and watch my little compass on Google Maps just go, this
Man.
is where you are.
I think about that like just having to go around like because you're the same as me, just do gigs in all these random places
Yeah.
all the time. Like having to plan that would have been such a bummer. Like just before you leave the house, you've got to know where the thing is. Like I'll be halfway there and be like, well, what's the name of it again? And like find it.
My phone broke a couple of months ago, and I was going to this gig that was slightly outside of London, somewhere in like a small town.
Yeah.
And I couldn't rely on my phone, so I had to like print because we don't have maps just
Yeah.
lying around. So I had to print
No.
a map of this little place.
Yeah.
And then I got there, and it reminded me how much I rely on the compass because I was like, where am I on this?
Yeah, you have to look at street sign
this
names and
map?
shit.
Yeah, it took me ages. Like we're all idiots. None of us are
Yeah.
capable of just doing like what would be considered a very simple thing years ago.
No, of course not. Like we just lost it. Like my
Yeah.
phone ran out of battery looking for a place, and I had to just ask someone. I felt like a fucking idiot. I was just like, I'm so sorry. Do you know where this is?
And they're like, no.
and then they look it up on their phone.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
like,
right. Yeah.
Here's where it is. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh man. But yeah, just look like a fool.
I once had that where I looked it up for someone
Yeah.
on my phone, and she was like, where is this square? And I was like, let me look it up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we're in it. We're in it. Like, that's where we're standing.
Sorry, I didn't realize, but we are actually in the square.
We're in this square.
Yeah.
I felt like such a...
Oh man, but it's fun. It's like, because I get it here, and I assume you get it too, because like from a distance, we're just kind of like white people walking around England. And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, they must live here. Like, you know, and just like they ask us stuff and you just come back in the accent and they're like, oh, actually, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be fine. How long have you been here? How long have you been in the UK?
4 years and a bit.
4 years and a bit.
Yeah.
Was that post uni, post Canada?
Post Canada. Yeah.
Post Canada. So what you did a uni. and then a
Uni in
Canada.
Amsterdam, then a Canada for 3 years.
Where Canada?
Vancouver.
Okay, so outdoorsy Canada, nature
Outdoorsy Canada. Yeah, I think I needed a break. I needed a break from what I then thought was big city Amsterdam.
It was too much. Too much Amsterdam.
Yeah. Then I moved to Vancouver, which was very chill and nice,
Yeah.
and then got very boring.
Yes.
And then moved to here because I wanted to do stand up,
Right.
which I'd never done before. So I wanted to move to London because I knew it was a good place for it.
So you went to London to start
To
stand-up.
start, yeah. I'd
That was
never
like
done
your
it before.
thing. You were like, I would never have anything to do with this disgusting city. And then,
No. Otherwise, yeah.
And then stand-up's like, well, I guess I have to.
Yeah, and then there was that thing of like, God, you thought Amsterdam was a mess. Like
Yeah.
this place is
Yeah, it's so much bigger, right? And how big is
So
Amsterdam?
much
Do
bigger.
you know the population?
no.
No? I got a feeling it's like 3.
I feel like it's 2 to 3.
Yeah, 2 to 3, something in that. Whereas London's like 12, isn't it? If you include like the commuters and shit.
Maybe it's just 1. It's not big. It's very
Amsterdam,
small. Yeah.
1. We'll look that up. We'll put that at the end. I do a little thing at the end. Anything that I don't know.
Oh right.
There's
Okay.
a,
Cool.
There's a list.
Yeah.
You know, like people need to-
I know there's 17 million in the country.
70 million Dutch.
Yeah.
That's more Dutch than I thought they'd be.
It's very crowded.
Yeah. How tiny country.
It's tiny. Yeah.
What apart from Amsterdam is big? Hague big? The
The
Hague?
Hague, Den Haag, Den
There
Haag.
you go. There you go.
Den Haag.
Get some Haag in.
Rotterdam,
Rotterdam.
Utrecht.
Yeah. And what? So the Hague is like the criminal court and like kind of political
Yeah.
station, like the International Criminal Court, the International Court of Justice.
Also, yeah, it's also where our politics are.
Where you're kind of okay. Because
Yeah.
Amsterdam's the capital,
Yes.
but the politics not in the capital.
no.
There we go. Gotcha. Utrecht was in Utrecht.
Utrecht, yeah.
Yeah. Damn
You
it.
don't have to do it. That's
No,
all
no.
right.
I see.
My boyfriend's trying. It's very.
No, I learned German. So
Right.
like when I see Dutch and I speak English,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then you guys just put a twist on the pronunciation. I'm like, ah, fuck.
Yeah.
Like I lost it.
It's the T's and the R's and the G's, I think.
Yeah, because we don't roll R's.
Yeah. You have
And
to
you're
be
like,
able to
"Ah."
roll.
I can if I work hard.
Okay.
If I work hard on a roll, but I'm not gonna do it now. Too much pressure. I'm drinking a coffee. My throat's dry. Or I need a wet throat for rolling.
I thought by the end you were going to do things that you didn't know how to do, or
Didn't know in
yeah.
the podcast.
You're going to look up things that you didn't know and do things that you didn't know how to do before.
Absolutely not. I do only things I know how to do very well. I got a goddamn listenership to protect.
All right.
They got to keep respecting me.
Oh, okay.
If I make a fool of myself up here, they'll never listen again. Ridiculous. But no, so there was Vancouver, then to London, just for comedy. So you came before comedy.
Yeah.
That's very brave.
Oh.
I think that's brave.
I think it's stupid.
In hindsight.
No, yeah.
No, even at the time, you're like, well, this was a mistake.
I have a very big I just make a decision and then I do it immediately.
Yeah.
I remember because I said to my dad I'm going to move to London. I told no one I was why,
Right.
but they were like, well, she moved to Canada before, so I mean,
That
moving to
sounds like
London.
something you should do.
Yeah, that sounds like something you should do. But I remember I said I was going to move to London and he said okay. And then he said a week later you mentioned it again and I was like, "Oh, she's moving to London."
She mentioned something twice. It's happening.
Yeah.
Mickey, is the rest of your family similar? You got siblings? What do you got?
I've got 2 sisters. I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle
Yeah.
sister. And are they Netherlands? They
They are, yeah. They live in Amsterdam.
Keeping it Dutch?
Yeah.
Keeping it Dutch. What did Dutch
The
people
whole
do?
fam jam. Well, actually, my parents just moved to Italy.
Huh.
Yeah, they're retiring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? You guys, that's actually something. In Australia, like you retire and you move to like the coast, like the country, whereas you guys, you live somewhere else completely.
I don't know if that's such a common thing. I just know my parents 10 years ago went to Italy and were like, "Oh, this is the best. It's good food, good wine." I think the wine is a big
wine.
part of it, I think.
Sure.
And it's quiet.
It's quiet. That's where in Italy's quiet. Everybody, a lot of beeping whenever I've been to Italy. A lot of horn
They
use.
they have moved to a hill.
A hill.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Get a fucking hill to yourself.
Yeah.
The Netherlands have hills? Too flat for a
No,
hill.
there's no hills. Yeah.
No hills.
Yeah.
They're just like, man, this is very
Right.
exotic.
Wine and good food and hills.
And
Yeah.
hills, yeah. No, because like I was doing my little Netherlands research and like, yeah, I didn't realize the country's below sea level.
Yeah. Oh, it's flat. Yeah.
But it's below. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. What does that mean?
I know. Does
Yeah.
it fuck with your head?
Not really.
You don't just. Next time I go to the Netherlands, I guarantee I'm just gonna be walking around being like, "Where's the sea?
Yeah.
Why isn't it higher?
Yeah.
What happened to this place?"
I think it shouldn't be able to be called that because obviously that's a scientific thing.
Yeah.
And then small-minded, simple-minded people like us are like, but there's no sea here.
That is a very fair point. Just
Yeah.
like that's our fault.
Yeah.
To find that fascinating, we're
Yeah.
like, but the sea.
But how does it work?
But my feet are dry. I don't understand. Yeah, I'm too dumb for space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like some people can understand space and like the infinite thing and like it's constantly expanding and all that shit. And I'm like, I can't.
I try sometimes.
I don't.
Do you ever do it?
I gave up years ago.
I try sometimes and I'm like, try and imagine something that doesn't end. And I'm like, oh, I can't. No.
Yeah, there was actually a moment at university when I realized that I was like got a small little head. It was like it was some like philosophy class. I got physically, it's a fucking massive head. Can't wear novelty hats. It's a nightmare. But like, it was like a thing where it's like imagine looking
Yeah.
looking at the universe like from like a side. And I was just like picture like all the kind of planets lined up, like, you know, just like the Milky Way kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, I got this, yeah. And then the teacher's like, now remember, there's nothing outside the universe. So how could you possibly look from the outside in? And I was like, oh. That's all right. That's the limit of my intellect.
Yeah.
I found it.
I also feel like that is your teacher being very smug.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking
Remember, kids?
philosophy
you.
of religion teacher. Of course he's fucking smug.
Ugh, we had philosophy in school, and I had this one.
You have philosophy in school? What? Like high school?
Yeah, it was you could choose it. It was like a thing that you could
Sorry,
choose.
I was just like, that's wild.
Yeah. They do it now though, because I used to be a nanny, and the kid I nanny for has philosophy and
How old's this kid?
mandatory. She's in secondary school now, but yeah, in secondary school she has
Wait,
philosophy.
What's secondary school? We don't.
No, here in Britain.
No, but I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that's like she went from 11 on.
From 11 on. And then when do they graduate here? 17, 18?
Well, you do 6 years or something, and then there's sixth form.
So sixth form is different.
Yeah, that's where you do. That's where you
Ah.
choose a couple of subjects.
Right.
So you can stop after before sixth form. You
Yeah,
can,
gotcha. Yeah.
when you're like 16, I think you can leave school.
Oh, and so sixth form is when they do their A levels.
Yeah,
Gotcha. I should
Yeah.
have probably learnt that by now, but no.
I only learned it because I took care of this kid,
This,
and I still like barely know.
well, no, because like Australia, it's like there's kindergarten.
Yeah,
Well, sorry, there's like preschool, which is like 2 to 4. Oh, sorry, 3 to 4 kind of thing. Around
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And like when you're 5, you go to kindergarten. Then you go to year 6, which is primary school. And then after that, you go to high school, which is year 7 to year 12. So that's when you're 13 through to like 18.
yeah.
So that's it. There's no sixth form separate thing.
We have primary school from 4 to 12. So
4 to 12.
8 years.
Wow.
8 years.
Yeah.
And then secondary school or high school, or whichever you want to call it, which is 4, 5, or 6 years, depending on what level they put you in.
What? Wait, when do they decide? At primary school? They decide your level?
At the end of primary school, you do a big test,
Holy shit.
and that together with the sort of results that you've had throughout, obviously your time in primary school, they put you in three different levels, like low, middle, high.
So, and can you switch between the levels once you're in high school?
No.
What?
Oh, I mean, you can go down a level if you're doing bad.
But you can't go up.
No.
No, come on.
Yeah.
What if just like, you know, a kid's like kind of a dummy and he matures? Like, no.
Well, there is a way of so you can finish
Uh-huh.
and then do the second level in a shortened amount of time.
Ah, yeah.
So my younger sister is like, she's a brilliant example of that. So she did sort of the lower level, did 4 years,
Yeah.
then went to sort of like a trade school,
Right.
and then went to study to be a teacher, which is what you can do if you do the middle level in high school. Then you can study to be a teacher.
So wait, like the different levels have different jobs?
Yeah. So the
Wow.
high level is the only way you can go to uni. And then the middle
Right.
level is you can go to sort of like, it's kind of university, but more practical university.
Yeah, like yeah, I know what you mean. Like kind of, I think in Australia it's called TAFE. Like it's kind of like what's it called here? Like a skill, like no trade school. Like
No, that trade school is the
There's
one.
bottom
Yeah,
one.
we have like a middle one as well.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry. Please.
I mean, it sounds, it's not that complicated. But my younger sister, she did trade school, and then she
Yeah.
did sort of like that middle level higher
teaching one.
education, and then after that she was like, I kind of want to go to uni, which
Yeah.
you could then do.
Okay, so there is kind of like at the back end you can
Yeah.
do more.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna say, because Jesus Christ, like that's a lot of pressure to put on a 12-year-old.
But I, sorry,
That's okay.
I still think it is.
I mean, it's still a lot, but it's not as much as. By the way, this is the end for you.
No, but the other thing is that like it works well in terms of you learn at your own pace and you learn at your own level.
Yeah. Right.
So you're with kids that learn at the same speed as you, which is great.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work well for example, you immediately get branded like you're stupid or smart or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though that has nothing to do with it at all.
And that would affect surely like a 12-year-old.
Well, it didn't. Yes. So my younger sister is like, she's still, even though she went to uni,
Yeah, she's still like, oh
she's
no,
still, yeah.
I don't really read. I like
Yeah,
Father
yeah,
Ted,
yeah.
that
Yeah,
kind
she
of
has,
shit.
she has a real like,
Chip on the shoulder?
yeah,
As you would. I think
As you
that's-
would.
Yeah.
yeah,
What level were you in?
the high one.
Yeah. I was just like, just based on the previous conversation, like, I guarantee she's in the high one. And just slow playing that, just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
always at
this
the
was
top
all.
there.
This was a lead up to a giant brag. Let me just let me teach you about the Dutch educational system that just ends in
Yeah.
a brag.
So I can tell you that I'm at the top of it.
Yeah,
I
to
mean,
tell you
that-
how smart I am.
That's the kind of shit I would do. In fairness. That's the kind of thing that I would tee up. Oh man, I had no idea. That's really interesting. Is that common across Europe, or is that just like the Netherlands?
I have only ever heard it in the Netherlands, and it's
Yeah.
one of those things that's so like you think it's normal,
Yeah.
and then you learn about other educational systems, and you're like, oh, that's
Yeah. Oh, dude. Like that's like because I studied German at school. And
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny because like, these days I got this joke just about how like you should just never learn a foreign language. I'm like, I did for like 6 years, and German.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Anyway.
English not included. I
Of
assume.
course, yeah. English is the only one you need. Just only one. What language are we speaking now? Exactly. What
Yes.
language are you listening in?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, no, just like I couldn't get over that they went to school at like 7 a.m. and were done at like 2 p.m. That blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
That those are the school hours. Is that
Yeah.
the same?
No.
No. Yeah, because we were like 9 to like 3:30.
Primary school 8:30.
Yeah.
High school 9.
Yeah. And like that to go earlier than that, like it's done at 2. Like the parents are at work. What?
What do you do?
How does this work? Where do the kids go?
Well, the other thing is like something that they don't have here, or at least not with the kid that I took care of, was free periods. You can just go.
Well, at home.
Yeah, anywhere.
You don't have to report to a place.
No.
Yeah, I think that's the same as in Australia.
Yeah. So she will have, or she doesn't have free periods, but her cousin will have like 2 free periods in the morning,
Yeah.
but still have to go to school and report, be like, hey, I'm here. And then just be at school doing
What?
nothing. I don't know. It just doesn't
That's
make
insane.
Yeah, it doesn't
2
make
free
any
periods in
sense.
the morning. That's
Sleep.
late
You get to
time.
sleep in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what that's for.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be able to because my mom had very strict rules that we all had to be up at 7:30 every day,
Really?
regardless of
To clean those clogs.
to clean those clogs. Yeah.
Why 7:30 every day?
She had this thing about like breakfast every day together, which I guess is nice.
That is nice.
But when you're 14
Yeah,
and
you're
you're
like, this is-
tired because you're growing,
This is terrible. This is the worst.
I've never been more angry in my life. I've lived a very privileged life.
That was the low point.
That was the low. That was the lowest it's ever
When I
gotten.
was
for me.
14, I woke up at 7:30. That was it. That was the bottom.
Nothing will ever be as bad.
Actually, while I remember, when I was in the Netherlands, I was trying to eat Dutch food.
Yeah.
And the only thing I got was like bitterballen,
Yeah.
which is like deep fried
Yeah, but that's a snack.
misc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great though. It is good.
I got really sick after I ate them, so like I now blame
well,
them.
then
I don't think it was their fault. I think it was like, you know, the excessive amount of alcohol I drank.
Yeah.
But I blame the bitterballen.
Okay.
Because I can drink alcohol here. I can't have bitterballen.
It's deep fried. What's not to love?
Because it was just deep fried misc.
Yeah, and then
I
you
don't dig that.
Yeah, and then you eat it with mustard.
Just mustard. Europeans and mustard, bro.
Yeah, we love mustard.
See, these are stereotypes. We figured this shit out.
Yeah.
But no, like what else? Like, what's a more kind of wholesome Dutch thing?
See, it's very similar, I think, to, well, I mean, lunch culture, I think, would be different. So we have a lot of sweet things on bread, which actually you're Australian. So that fairy bread. Like,
Fairy bread. Oh,
yeah.
But like as adults.
Oh, yeah. So we have
What?
so many. So
'Cause
fairy
fairy
bread,
bread-
for anyone that doesn't know, it's like, it's sprinkles on bread.
Yeah, hundreds and thousands, as
Yeah.
we call them in Australia. Don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, hundreds of thousands.
But we have the amount of options
Right.
for sprinkles on bread. So there's chocolate ones, there's chocolate flakes, but then there's all sorts of different colors, sweet ones.
Right. Just on a sandwich.
There's powdered sugar. There's
This isn't a donut. This isn't like a pastry. This is just on bread.
on bread, yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's just
Yeah.
standard.
We call it hagelslag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful language.
Yeah. Very sexual.
Yeah. Because I one of my friends is living in Amsterdam now, and she was saying there's also like drinking milk. She said there was a lot of that. Like her boss, who's like a 50-year-old man, would just have like a glass of milk.
Oh,
with
you
lunch.
you have milk for lunch.
That-
Buttermilk I had.
But like now living outside of there, you know that's insane, right? Like that's crazy.
I know I miss it.
You
because
miss
because
buttermilk for lunch.
I don't I never liked milk. I never liked drinking milk.
Right.
I never had milk in my cereal. I always had yogurt. But
Oh yeah.
I liked buttermilk, but only Dutch buttermilk. It's called Carnemilk, and
Okay.
it's my boyfriend had a sip of it and he was like, "This is genuine trash." Like
He was disgusted by this
it was because it's sour milk.
because he's English.
It's sour,
right? Yeah.
thick milk, buttermilk.
Sour, thick milk.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
So kind of like that kefir kind of yogurty stuff. No,
No, it's drink for drinking.
but kefir you drink
Oh, is it?
like kind of like that Turkish like
Oh yeah,
drinking
actually,
yogurt.
it might be a little bit more related to that than
Okay.
it's not really milk. But anyway, so I miss that.
miss
When
that.
I go home,
That's
yeah.
what you load up on the buttermilk.
Buttermilk, yeah, great.
And like so, but okay. I mean this lends into my whole like wholesome Dutch thing. You know what I mean? Like with the clogs and the field and the
Yeah.
the tulips.
I mean, we can talk about some of the other stuff. So I think
But like what do you? So
dinner is potatoes and meat and veg. That would be traditional.
Okay.
But then with applesauce.
With applesauce.
Everything with applesauce.
Everything with applesauce.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are the things that I was just trying to figure out because over there no one would give me anything. I'd just be like, no, like I just want to eat something kind of Dutch, and all I got was the bitterballen.
Right.
And then told that the sandwiches are kind of very one ingredient. Like you don't want to mix
Oh,
and match.
yeah. You put one thing on bread.
Yeah. Like you know like
Because-
ham and cheese. It's like ham or cheese.
No. That's very excessive to put two things on bread.
That's nuts. Like
Yeah.
you guys must hate Subway. Is what I'm saying. Just like, what would you like on your sub? Just meatballs and salad.
But it's
just meatballs.
it's a genuine. I used to go to when I was in uni. There was this little like in just a back alley somewhere. There was this little sandwich shop, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
But that was it. You would get like two little buns.
Yeah.
And they would be like, "What do you want on it?" And it's not like you can keep going, even though they would probably have. It would probably be the same as Subway, in that you get a bun.
Yeah,
And then there's
options.
all these different options, but you choose one. You
Yeah.
say, I want ham, and then they butter your bun, and then they put ham on it, and then they go, yes. And what would you like on the other one?
So you're having multiple sandwiches. They're small.
Yeah,
Okay, so one filling per sandwich, but multiple small
yeah.
sandwiches.
But more likely, like what you would have at home is sliced bread, and
Okay.
so one slice, and you butter it, and then you have either sweet or savory.
Uh-huh.
Savory first. That was the rule in my house.
Savory first.
You
and
had to have
sweet?
savory first, then sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just like one slice of ham, like just like
Yeah.
out the packet, just the one
You can
slice,
put some mustard on it.
just to really get to flavor country.
Yeah.
Add some mustard on there.
Yeah.
All right, this may.
For very basic people.
Oh my god. I thought my friend was like fucking with me when she was saying this. And like, no, okay. So, but like one slice of ham, like not even like multiple.
Because
slices
it's
of ham.
normal. We love the word normal.
Right. That's good. You don't want to be weird.
Yeah, there's a saying that goes, just be normal, that's weird enough.
That's a good saying.
That's a big saying.
I like that. Just be normal. That's weird enough.
That's weird enough. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
But I guess it's weird because like you guys, because of the Amsterdam thing, I guess like Dutch people are kind of viewed as like, hey, party, like, you know, freewheeling, like do what you want.
Yeah.
And you guys are like, yeah, we can do what we want, but what we want is one slice of ham.
Yeah.
On 2 slices of buttered bread.
This is why we don't drink to excess, or we don't really consume all the weed that we have.
Yeah. You just market it.
I mean, someone might have a spliff, but
yeah, it's not
really any. I don't have any friends that smoke weed, like Dutch friends. Like maybe occasionally, but not on the regs.
not like here where it's just like every day.
No, not really. It's not normal, man.
Weird. Mm-hmm. Oh man, this is great. This is the kind of shit that you're like, you just like, you go to a place and you're like, surely it's not Dutch people doing this. And you hear being like, no, Dutch people are not doing this. I promise you, they're not.
No.
Oh man. So wait, was it weird? Do you find coming here strange, or does here seem quite normal? Because I guess like Canada's a good like little median point. You know what I mean? Because it's Britain with more weed and more nature.
Yeah.
And then you've come to the big city.
Yeah, I think, the thing is, I consider myself very Dutch, but there's also, I feel more Dutch now that I've left than I ever did when I was there.
Right.
And that's nice, because it's like, it's kind of like I've found it again.
Right.
But when I was there, I felt very out of place.
Sure.
So I never really, I was obsessed with like sitcoms from the US and the UK and stuff. And I always thought, those are my people. And then I moved here and I started doing comedy, and I was like, oh, these are, yes. But that has nothing really to do with British culture that much.
Yeah.
As more like people just like jokes.
Yeah, right. You just like the jokes, not so much the culture.
Yeah.
I mean, British, like,
but I like the culture as well. I like pop culture.
Pub culture?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the main thing of British culture. It's pub culture and sport.
Yeah. So sport, I don't really think that means anything to me. But I like pop culture a lot.
Yeah. Go have a drink, sit around, talk.
Yeah.
Don't be home. Don't be home. I think
don't be home.
That's the main, especially London. Don't be home.
Yeah.
Be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Go home when you can.
And I really do genuinely like British people. I think they're very nice.
They are good.
Yeah, they're good.
But like, so 4 years, 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But like the one thing is like the parallel between like the British and the Dutch. Like obviously you guys have kind of fought for the same stuff.
Sure, we
like
have some of the same royals in the past.
Yeah, or just like the colonial stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
like going around. Like because I did my little look in. I always like to kind of. Is that a big part of Dutch culture? Because like here, it's obviously in England, it's a huge part of their culture. It's like we had the empire, the sun never used to set on it. We fucking owned everything, and like it's built into them.
No,
like,
I think it's more hidden back home.
That's what I would. Yeah, because like you never really hear people talking about it, right? Like I forgot that the Dutch had Indonesia until I went to Amsterdam, and there was like all this satay on the menu.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, I forgot. Like, and I should know because Indonesia's right next to my country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, I think the British are kind of like really celebrate that empire mentality.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't be so ashamed.
I mean, yeah, like that's a very fair point. But like, I think... do you think it's because the Dutch, it was mainly like for business purposes? Like it was like the spice trade. It was like, this is a business thing.
I think.
Whereas in England, it's like we're spreading British culture. We're spreading English. We're spreading like Christianity, like all that shit. It was like a bigger, like they were sharing more. Whereas you guys are like, we just need places for our ships to dock, get the spices back to Europe.
I mean, it sounds great when you put it like that. We were just doing it for business, which would make sense with our sort of practical nature.
Yeah.
But at the same time, must have been ego.
Oh.
We want to have the biggest fleet. We want to have the biggest...
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure
trade.
Some South Africans are listening to this and they're pissed.
Yeah, exactly. And,
don't overlook what they did.
Yeah, it's a shitty thing they did. And I think it's good now that like we're not celebrating it, I guess. That's good.
Yeah.
But I also don't like that there wasn't enough about it in our history books when I
Right.
was in school.
So in school, it's kind of glossed over.
It's not glossed over so much. Like we do learn about it, but I don't think we learn about it in a way that is like, but that's bad though. It's, you know, it's sort of like the facts are in the books.
Right.
And then we were in Indonesia. And then we were in
Right.
South Africa and there was the Boer War. And it's
Yeah.
like,
So it's
right.
just like dates, wars,
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
left. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. As opposed to like, and yeah, like,
we took over a people and we
yeah, we
told
were not
them-
very nice to them.
and we were not very nice and we told
Yeah,
them
yeah,
we
yeah.
were better than them.
Yeah, no, it's just, yeah, it's funny because like you just do forget about it. I mean, like Australia was first discovered by Dutch
Mm. Yeah.
people. Like
Abel
Tasmania.
Tasman.
Well, there we go. Another Dutch word I'm not going to have a crack at.
That's his name, Abel Tasman. That's
Abel
why
Tasman.
Tasman. And then that's why it's called Tasmania.
I thought it was Van Diemen. Like, what was the Van Diemen fella? Because it was Van Diemen's land.
Oh, he might have done it first and then
Yeah.
it might be one of those like Christopher Columbus things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come again.
Yeah.
Get back involved.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like, because like Indonesia and then, yeah, just like Australia and stuff. Like, it's not like the Dutch weren't around. Like, they had a huge empire, like the biggest for like
Everywhere.
quite a while. Like Dutch East Indies.
Yeah.
That was like the vibe. But then
Yeah.
the English kind of...
We're involved in the slave trade. Like, yeah.
Because in the Caribbean, especially, right? That was
Mm-hmm.
that was the bit. Yeah,
Suriname. We
Yeah.
had that for a long time until 1975, I think.
75. Wow.
Until as in, yeah, that's when they became independent.
I did not realize it was that recent.
That's what I
Jeez.
that's what I mean. And it like I think the country's better for it now.
Yeah, sure.
As in, like, now we have, much like here, we have all these amazing cultures. We have Suriname culture and Indonesian culture, and it's, you know, like you can always tell from a supermarket how integrated it is. Like
Right.
there's these packages that makes Indonesian food like very easy to make
Yeah.
for like all of this.
It's like that. That's like the kind of ready meals, like
Yeah,
the kind of
yeah.
like these are the spices
Yeah.
that you need.
It's
Yeah,
like
you'll
that is as much part of Dutch cuisine. Like when
Yeah.
I say potatoes and stuff, I wanted to add earlier, I was like, but also all the people that we once, you know.
We've got their cuisines in there as well.
Yeah.
That's like in Australia, you'll never find a packet of like jerk chicken seasoning
Right.
because like Australia just doesn't have many black people, like apart from like the indigenous population.
Yeah.
Different story.
Very
But
different story.
Very different.
Also
thing.
not great.
Not very not great. Yeah, and that, I mean, Australia's the same. Like we overlook a lot of that. Like you kind of learn that after school. Like there's Australian
Yeah,
history,
exactly.
but they
That's
never.
what I mean.
They're never like, oh yeah, and we just like fucking just murdered, like just genocide. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Sorry, what was that? And they're like,
Yeah.
nothing. Anyway, let's talk about how good we are at cricket again. And you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's just a strange one, but I think, at least you can educate yourself later, but I'm kind of hoping that now it's changing. I don't know.
Yeah.
You would hope so.
Well, like, is it like part of the Dutch mentality that you were like a kind of colonial power? Is that like kind of built in there? Or is it more just like you
I don't
really
think so.
talk
Not
about
like
it?
the British. I don't
Yeah,
think.
you just don't really
No.
talk about it, and you're just kind of like, look, sorry about that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah,
I
I
can't really
mean,
speak for my people.
Of course. No, you can. And
Oh,
you
I
will.
can. Yeah, that's what we're
I
doing.
brought you on here to represent the whole of the goddamn
The whole
Netherlands.
country. Yeah, I don't feel like it's part of a pride thing.
Yeah.
The whole sort of like, but we still have the Commonwealth.
Yeah,
It's like
of
I
course.
don't understand
I mean,
that mentality at all.
it's, I don't know. Like, I think I don't really understand it either, and like it's very odd because like, I mean, but Australia is part of the Commonwealth. Like, we're not a republic.
No.
Queen's still the head of state. Same with Canada.
Yeah.
Like the British kind of cling on to it. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
let's still got the
massively,
royal,
yeah.
let's still got the royal family. It's like this is the royal family. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
even realize that the Netherlands had a royal family.
Oh,
until
we
I
do.
was
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So what
Willem
do they-
Alexander.
What do they
our
do? They
king.
just chill. Like
They chill for a bit, I think. Yeah, no, but again, like, people are against the royal family and that kind of stuff. But I always think of the positive thing about a royal family is like it makes people feel like they're part of something,
sure.
and it just kind of
Wait, sorry, explain that. That's interesting. What?
Well, I think once they have no power, like no real power,
Sure.
which our royal family doesn't.
Do they just, is it the same as here? Like they just
Yeah.
sign laws into existence, and that's about it. Like, they're just
I
told
think
what
she
to sign,
has.
and they're like, yeah, okay.
Oh, it's now a king. He has one function,
Yeah.
which is in the making of Parliament.
Yeah.
And that I don't know exactly what it is. He sort of like swears them in or something. It's something
Okay.
like that. It's like a function
So
like that.
Do they like swear an oath like to him or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's a
you know,
ceremonial role.
Exactly. It's a
Gotcha.
ceremonial role. And then there's people that would want to get rid of that because it's like, oh, it's being paid for by taxpayers' money and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and I do
yeah.
understand that.
Sure.
But I actually think a royal family serves a different purpose, which is, it makes people in a country feel like they're part of something, and it kind of it's like makes them feel like a collective.
Right. Because they're kind of unified as like, yeah, these are our dudes.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't necessarily think it's a bad thing at all to have a royal family.
sure. What about
Yeah.
here? Like, do you think like the same thing applies here? I mean, in the UK, the main argument to keep them is just tourism money.
Yeah,
Like,
I do.
They're just like, man, they're just worth heaps of money in tourism. Let's keep
Yeah.
them going.
But yeah, what's bad about that?
Yeah. No, it's an interesting.
And people like love them, and they love reading about them, and they love.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Like, there's a big industry around
Yeah,
the
yeah.
royal family. Like my girlfriend. Yeah. Like, wait, you can bloody see them there. There's like the royal family mugs.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. And she loves it.
Yeah, when I lived in Canada, people really. I had this friend who was really into the royal family.
Yeah. It's
She'd
odd.
watch the whole wedding.
Yeah.
But
oh,
I just
no.
think, well, then why is it bad? And then some people might not like it, but then don't watch it.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
Like, it
what I
doesn't
feel.
really impact you day to day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like. I'm not there being like, we need to get rid of the royal family. That's the thing plaguing.
Just these mugs.
yeah, plaguing England. Like, you know, this is the big problem. But like, yeah. But anyway, we should get on. We should get into the Brexit stuff because that's why.
Right.
I've been. Yeah, because like I had like I don't. Brexit just seems like a thing that doesn't have anything to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like it's the EU. And it's England,
Yeah.
and the UK.
You're the Commonwealth.
and I'm the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Like nothing. Like it's just a different space.
Yeah.
But like you've been here 4 years now. So what? When you would have been quite recently when you moved in that Brexit all kind of happened,
Yes.
right? Like kind of two years in to staying here. Like what was it? It was like 2 years ago the vote. 3 years ago now.
When the vote happened, yeah.
Yeah. So like you would have just got in basically.
I would have been here a little over a year.
Right.
Yeah.
And was it weird as a new person to the UK, or were you just kind of like, well, these guys are doing their thing, and I'm just doing comedy?
No, it was super. Yeah, very weird. And I think you can feel it in gigging.
Right. But like, even as a Dutch person,
Yeah.
like, but surely no one's looking at Brexit being like, we got to get rid of these Dutch.
Well, if you know, okay. So one response I got once was from a friend of mine. His family voted Brexit,
Yeah.
and then I was with them, and I was sort of, and they were like, "Well, how do you feel about it?" And I was like, "Well, not great. I mean, this directly affects me and my
Yeah.
stay here." And they were like, "Well, it's not you." And I was like, "No, it is me. See." You think it's not me, but it is. It's me.
Yeah, it's definitely me.
It's not whoever you thought you were voting out. It's me.
Well, that was like, I've heard like a few people say that. Like a lot of people like, yeah, the people who voted Brexit are like, yeah, we don't want any more Muslim immigration. I'm just like,
Yeah.
well, sorry to break this to you.
Yeah.
But that's not what this is about. This
Yeah.
is a completely different.
So I think a lot of people just voted, you know, for something that was, they didn't know what it was.
Yeah. And were you quite aware of it? Was that like, as someone who was, I guess, like going to be affected by it, were you reading everything and like trying to stay on top of it?
I did for a bit,
Yeah.
and then got very depressed about the whole situation. And then, you know, it's funny when you, especially having moved here to do comedy and to like be in a place where this is the center of comedy in Europe.
If not the world. Yeah.
Yeah. And so for me, it was just like, it's like I moved here to do a job that makes sense because this is.
Yeah.
But then part of that, especially on the lower levels, is you go around the country and do it, right? You go and
Yeah,
do
for
it's,
sure.
It's not yet. You don't get to immediately jump into, and then I get to do comedy all over Europe or something. Like it's.
No, you're just going to random villages and
Yeah.
towns in the UK.
Yeah.
You're seeing more of the UK than most people live in the UK.
Yeah.
Like I think I've definitely in a year I've been to more towns than pretty much everyone that I've met from here.
Yeah.
Like people don't go to Reading.
Nah.
Like, people don't go to Sheffield. I do.
Yeah.
Like,
And we don't see it either. We
No.
just go there and it's already dark.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you just sit in a Starbucks, charge your phone,
Yeah.
go to the gig, get back on a train.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of trains.
God. But anyway, but that's the thing is like you
Yeah.
move here because it's like the center, but the reality of it is you still just go and gig around the country.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I definitely felt
That there's in different parts of the country.
there's hostility. Yeah.
That is there been like one place that you've just kind of been like, oh geez, they did not like the fact that I have accent.
Went to Hartlepool.
Hartlepool.
Yeah,
that
that's-
sounds bad.
It's very north.
Hartlepool.
It's like by Newcastle, I think.
Okay, yeah. So north.
That might also
East.
be wrong.
I mean, fuck it.
It's north.
It's north.
And the MC said I was it was quite early on. It was
Yeah.
just around Brexit time probably.
Right.
And it is and so you know when you're like you don't even really have a 10, you're sort of like
Yeah, you're new and you're kind
Yeah.
of probably excited to be there. Are you getting paid?
I think expenses.
Yeah. So like that, when you're new, that's quite exciting.
It was good.
Yeah, like
it was
people
good. Yeah.
are giving me money to do this here.
Yeah, I met like Adam Rowe
Okay, yeah.
for the first time, and I was like,
Previous
oh,
guest on the pod.
yeah,
Episode 2.
he's great. Yeah,
He's around.
yeah, and he like had just smashed it, of course.
Of course.
Yeah,
Adam Rowe in the north.
yeah, and also Adam Rowe. He's
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
And I just I had to go, and then the MC was like saw that I was quite nervous,
Right.
and he was like, "Don't worry, they're very nice. They just don't like women or foreigners."
Oh, that's
And I was like, "I don't."
that kind of stops them from being considered very nice.
Yeah.
If that's your fallen down.
I think what he was trying to say was that they were sort of like a bit old fashioned.
Sure.
But he literally just said, "The thing you are, this like woman who's a foreigner,
Yeah.
they hate that.
They will not like.
They
this.
will not like you." And then they didn't. Like he was right.
They like Adam Rowe, who's a man from Liverpool.
Yeah.
The opposite of
Yeah.
a foreign woman.
Yeah. And oh god, yeah, it was it was horrible. And I just remember thinking, oh well, if that's it, then I don't know how to do this.
Right.
And 3 years on, I still don't.
There's been no growth in this
Very
whole time.
like yeah, for small out of towny places.
But like, was doing things like that? Was that the situation that made you be like, oh, Brexit might happen?
Oh yeah,
Brexit's probably, there's
I had-
plenty of support for
I
this
had
vote.
no doubt. And also from the other side,
Right.
from like my parents back home,
Yeah.
being like, we know you live there, Mickey, and we're sorry about that. But let's, have them leave. Great. They've been annoying.
They're just like not invested in it at all.
Well,
They're
they
like,
were always like half in, half out.
yeah.
Because they were like, sure, but also we want a lot of rules that apply specifically to us. And then
Sure.
also we want to keep the pound.
Yeah. But
Which
I
was
mean,
such a great deal for them. I don't know why they left. So stupid.
I mean, yeah, because like, isn't that the same with like Sweden and Norway? They keep the krona and stuff. They're
Yeah.
EU, aren't they?
So
Yeah.
there's a couple of people who got this sweet deal,
Yeah.
including the UK.
And the UK has been like, we're gonna.
And they were like, nah.
off we go.
Yeah, off we go. So my parents were just a bit like, yeah, great.
Good riddance.
We'll probably get a lot more done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because one of the things with Brexit is that a lot of the firms will move to the Netherlands. So the Netherlands actually stands to benefit quite well. Have you not read this?
Well, the Netherlands or France or Germany.
Yeah.
Kind of depends what field you're talking about.
Well, I'm just like that's been the kind of headlines that I've seen. It's like these firms like already preparing to relocate to the Netherlands. And it's
Really?
like,
Yeah.
and just like
Yeah.
like big multinational companies just being like, yeah, I mean, if you guys we'll go to the other
Yeah.
ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll just jump across the channel and
Yeah.
And so I guess yeah, in Europe, in the EU, there's probably obviously I don't think they don't want them to leave, right? I think that's still
No.
but a lot of European countries will be like, well, if
I think because the big centers are the UK, France, and Germany.
yeah.
And so it was always this triangle, which a triangle is better because then the power is divided
Right.
amongst
they're not
three big
properly
ones.
adversarial.
And it's not going to be just like France versus Germany.
Yeah.
which we've done before.
This is a sequel.
Yeah, this
you've
is a
seen
sequel,
this. It's
yeah.
a Marvel movie. Comes out every year. France versus Germany.
It's a where are they now?
Yeah. Okay. That's a really interesting point. I haven't kind of thought about it like that. That England was kind of in there as the circuit breaker
I think so.
to just be like.
I think that's the main worry
Right. That now.
for the smaller countries, I think.
Yeah. Because what is the Netherlands' position within
What
the EU?
is the Netherlands?
What is the Netherlands? That's what we'll call this.
Yeah.
What is the Netherlands? No, but like, because they're like a small country, but they have a strong economy, and like they're
Yeah.
quite wealthy.
Yeah.
So like, where does that kind of place them in the? Because in the EU, there's obviously like the big ones, like France and Germany, as you said, big economy, big population, big country, and then other countries that like have a bigger population but maybe aren't as wealthy. Whereas like the Netherlands,
Yeah, I think we've got like a little sweet spot.
yeah, just this nice.
We were in the
little-
middle of that triangle
Yeah, you were like
with Belgium, but
yeah.
like forget about them.
Yeah, oh man, people from Belgium, no good, no good. I don't know how you guys and the Belgians can be so different.
Right.
When you're so close.
And we speak the same language. Well, half of
Ish.
them.
Yeah, like
No, not ish. It's the same.
What do you mean, like Flemish and Dutch?
That's the same. Yeah, it's the same language. We used to have a yearly show. This is one of my favorite things ever. So we used to have a yearly show, big televised event, like politicians and famous Dutch and Belgian people.
Yeah.
And it was basically an exam, like a test,
Like
like a
on-
Dutch written
on
test
live
on
TV.
on live TV. And it was the Belgians against the Flemish against the Dutch.
Right.
And who was better at spelling, essentially. It was a spelling test.
A spelling bee
Basically, but like more boring.
with Dutch and Flemish
Yeah.
politicians.
Yeah. And like famous people and normal people. And you could do it at home. Like you could write with it. And then at the end they would go through all of the
Yeah.
like the things that people would get wrong and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the Flemish always won.
They won the Dutch spelling bee.
Always, yeah. Because it's Dutch, their language.
So why do they call it Flemish then?
Because they're the Flemish. That's their.
But what is this branding exercise? that I'm
Well,
not
it's like
aware of?
it's like if you're I don't know, Scouser or something. I don't.
Same thing. You just want to be different. You
Well,
want your own.
it used to all be one country, and then
Right.
it got separated a couple of hundred years ago, and they became part of Belgium. But then, so it was half French, half Dutch, and
Right.
then the Flemish was probably that was Vlaanderen as it is.
Yeah,
called.
that's the
It's like
part
that,
of the
that was
country.
there. Like probably used to be just a province, I would guess.
Okay, sure. And then that just the way
Became
that
the
it
name
got
of the
divided.
the name became the name of the
Right.
Dutch Belgians.
And so, like, has there been movements for like the Flemish to be a part of the Netherlands or
No.
anything like that? Never.
No,
Interesting.
well, I mean, probably at that time,
Yeah,
but not recently.
I just mean recently, yeah, because like
No.
anywhere like like Montreal and stuff like Quebec, like trying to seed from
Yeah. No,
Like-
this is why Belgium is such a weird country because half
Right.
of them are French and half of them are Dutch, and like Brussels is in the Dutch part, if I get it right,
Yeah.
but they speak French.
Right. So and is that why it's there? Like, because it's the French speaking bit and the Dutch bit, so everyone gets a say.
Yeah, it's just a weird place. I think politically,
Yeah,
how do you manage that?
but that's where all the center of the EU stuff is, right? All the EU headquarters are in Brussels.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know enough about it either, but I just know
all right,
weird ass country.
I'll find a Belgian comedian, chat to them.
Yeah, do it.
I
Yeah.
don't even know if there is one. Just saying that. I'm like, I've never, there's plenty of Dutch comedians going around. Never heard of a Belgian comedian.
Yeah.
Can you think of one? No.
Yes, I mean in Belgium.
Oh, in Belgium, yeah. Just a couple of people in Belgium.
Who like do comedy in Dutch, yeah.
And do comedy in Dutch,
Well, I mean,
in Flemish.
it's the same.
It's the same. They have, if I told a Flemish person that, like, if they were like, oh, I speak Flemish, I'm like, oh, so you speak Dutch, would they be offended?
No?
Really?
I don't see how they could.
I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, I don't see how they could, but that thing where it's like,
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but I think Flemish is just the accent
right,
or the dialect.
okay. Oh, because that's the spelling is the same, but the way they speak, if it sounds
Yeah,
different.
it sounds different, yeah.
Okay. So, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I just thought it was like,
So, you know the ch sound that we do?
yeah, yeah.
They do what's called a soft G.
A
So
soft
they-
G.
So they have... yeah.
That's the only difference? Pretty much.
That's the biggest one.
Wow.
I would
Man, this
say.
is great. I'm
Yeah.
learning. Because, like, this is why I lump those countries in together, because I don't know if you know this, but when you get a rail pass in Australia, you have to like pick the countries that you're going to go to. Like when you kind of want the U-Rail pass.
Yeah.
And it's like Benelux
Yeah.
is like, Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg.
Yeah. That's
And,
right.
like, they're all
Yeah.
lumped together, and I'm like, oh, so maybe these countries have a few things in common.
Not Luxembourg.
Not Luxembourg. That's its own thing. That's its own weird.
Yeah. Well,
thing?
they don't speak. Yeah, they don't speak Dutch.
What do they speak?
What do they speak? German?
Don't look at me. I'm the little foreign boy coming here trying to learn.
I think they have. I think they're doing their own thing.
Their own thing,
Yeah.
Luxembourg.
I think there is actually their own, but I think they have like 4 languages or something weird,
Oh yeah, of course.
like Switzerland.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's one of the fun things about European countries. It's just like we'll have heaps of languages.
Yeah.
Like, we won't pick one. We'll just have them all,
Yeah.
and then make English
then-
speakers feel shitty.
Well, I mean, why would this is always the thing is like, and British people don't know any other languages. It's like we know theirs because it's the world language.
Yeah.
And I know a bit of French and German, but like, let's not.
But this is the thing, like you're like a bit of French and German would be the equivalent of me having studied 6 years of German. You
Yeah.
know? Like it'd be like, you like, I speak a bit. I'm like, yeah, I speak a bit. Like, you know, I speak
Yeah.
some German. Being
But
all
I
proud.
also studied 6 years of French and 5 years of German.
Oh, okay. Well, this makes more sense.
Yeah. But also because we have to speak English and that's mandatory. Probably you're already better at learning languages because you're doing one. So
Of course.
your brain is like tied into that
Yeah.
idea of picking something up.
Right. That makes sense.
Also, when tourists come to the Netherlands, I used to work at this market
Yeah.
in Amsterdam, like as like a job while I was in uni.
What kind of market? What were you?
It was an organic market. I worked at the
Nice.
mushroom stand first.
Lovely.
Not magic, just normal.
Just regular mushroom.
And fruit and veg afterwards. And the tourists would come. Yeah, I know, it's so wholesome, isn't
no,
it?
that was just the look of me just shaking my head, being like, how can a country be that fucking wholesome? Just you, just like on lunch break at the market stall selling mushrooms, the big thing of milk. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
thirsty.
Yeah.
Where's my ham sandwich?
And afterwards it was really fun. It was on Saturdays, and then afterwards we would go to what we call a brown cafe, which is like a
Brown cafe.
Yeah,
that
that's
sounds
like,
racial. That sounds racial to
there's
me.
a spider behind you.
That's fine.
No, but not to me.
It's just a little.
I wanted to die.
It's a little.
I
Fella.
know you're Australian and you're like, this is literally not even like.
Also, I just want to say, like, that's the first spider I've seen in this house. Don't have a like. Don't let the listeners think I live in a hovel
Okay,
overrun with.
you live in a very nice house.
Thank you.
But I still need
Where's
this.
the spider go? Did he drop?
Probably. Oh God, it's gonna like climb
This
up
is
my.
this is some good podcasting action when it's like there's a spider and then there's like 2 people edging away from microphones freaking out about the spider.
I'm very afraid of spiders, and I could see that one is very small.
Yeah. See, I used to be afraid of them in Australia, but in this country, I'm just like, fuck off. Like, because like in Australia, like some of them are poisonous, whereas here, none of them like they'll do
No,
nothing.
I know they're not poisonous. I just
Wait, you gotta wait. Tell the story about the market while I look for the spider.
Okay, great. So I worked. So I worked on the market, and tourists would just come, like they would just come, like French tourists or German tourists. They would come and they would just speak German or French to you because they expected Dutch people to just be able to understand what they were saying.
So like,
They would be like, "Je voudrais les pommes, s'il vous plaît." You're like, "Okay, I understand that you want apples, but I feel like you should ask me first if I speak French."
they don't even bother with English. They're just like, we'll just speak whatever language we're speaking. I love that I'm
Yes.
like leaning into this microphone as like Mickey, not even close to the tiny spider, is just edging away from hers.
Where did it go?
I don't think this is like the first time that we might have like a spider just
Okay, it's fine. I'll just
ending,
I'll
ending
deal
a
with
podcast.
it.
It's
I'll
just
deal
like,
with it.
You gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
I
alright.
see.
It's fine.
I can't see it anyway.
Well,
Alright.
that just means it's inside me.
I'm closer to it. Spiders love me. Don't worry. They'll just crawl on me and shit. What was I gonna say?
I was on a bus once, and this lady had like a spider, and first it was on the floor, and I was like watching it, and then
Yeah.
it walked all the way up the lady, and I was like, and it was like in her neck,
Yeah.
and then she was like, ugh, and then she was like freaking out because she realized it was a spider, and I just remember thinking, so they do go on people,
Yeah, spiders crawl on you, of course.
yeah. But I always
Have you
had
heard that thing
I always
about
had
8
in my-
spiders in your sleep? You eat 8 spiders?
Yeah, I don't buy it.
So sassy. Yeah. But no,
Anyway, it's fine. I'll be cool.
just keep you know, this,
I'll look at you.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I love that. I felt like creepy doing that. Just look at me.
Just look at me. Directly
It's
at
gonna be
me.
fun.
In my eyes.
But no, I was just gonna because we are almost out of time. We've done very well.
Have we?
The spider
Has
was
it been
actually quite a
interesting?
good alarm. I think it's been very interesting.
Oh, good, okay.
I've been interested in everything. But the other things I was gonna say,
Yeah.
is Brexit.
Yeah.
Are you fine to stay here? Like,
So because I've stopped updating the news, I don't know.
you don't know?
What I know, so here's what I know. So I have been here for 4 years and a bit, which is at some point they made this rule where they were like, if you want to stay, you need to have been here for 5 years.
Right.
And I don't make that. I need like 6 more months
Oh shit! So
before
you're
Brexit
just-
Day, which also is my birthday.
Are you serious?
It's my 30th birthday. Yeah, 29th of March.
Ladies and gentlemen, please on Brexit Day,
Yeah.
wish Micky Overman a happy Brexit Day and a happy birthday.
And a happy birthday.
That's so
Now,
funny.
Happy birthday. Now, please leave
Yeah,
if you could.
it's just the cake and just like na 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 na.
Yeah.
Just wrong song. Same cake.
Yeah. So I know that, but then I also know that they also changed that again, that rule. And they were like,
Okay.
anyone who's here can stay. Don't know what it is now, to be honest.
That was the last update. You're like, oh, everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, we won't really know until, like, it's done. And they're
Yeah.
like, here's your thing. What you need to do is you can stay, but you need to go to the visa office and get, like, a resident card or something.
Okay.
You know, I don't know what they're going to do, but we don't really know. It keeps changing.
Because right now you guys just have your EU
Just your passport,
ID and
yeah.
passport, and
Yeah.
you're fine, and you can work anywhere. And
Yeah, I mean,
that's it.
you just go here and then you need to get, obviously. So I have everything now, and you know,
Yeah.
like a NHS and all that kind of stuff. I have.
That's the thing. I don't even have that shit. I'm like, but I have like a BRP card. That's what gets me in again,
Right.
like a British residency permit. And so I assume you'll just get that.
So I
then-
don't really know. Or,
Yeah.
you know, maybe we won't get that and we'd have to apply for like an artist visa or something, which I think because I have an agent and I've been here long enough.
You should be able to get.
Yeah.
But that would probably you could only work in comedy. But is that?
But
all-
that would be tricky because, yeah. So right now I recently quit my one day job. So I quit nannying,
You quit nannying.
but that was one of 2.
That's
So I still have one.
okay. I think nannying is like that is the domain of Dutch and Scandinavian people.
Yeah.
Like, in my head, I'm like, if you want a good nanny,
Yeah.
you want someone from
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's true. I don't think that applied to me personally.
You
I
don't
mean,
think you're a good nanny?
well, I mean, I asked her because I did my last show. I did sort of like about being a nanny, and then that
Sure.
was sort of the framework.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, like what have I taught you? I said to this girl that I took care of,
Yeah.
and she was like, to swear. And I was like, oh,
That's a good start.
oops.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I quit that, but I still have one job. So it would be tricky if I had to just live off comedy. That's still a couple of years in the future.
Sure.
Hopefully. Like
So
fingers
that'd
crossed.
be difficult, and
That would be
the artist
tricky.
visa would obviously mean you just have to
Yeah.
make
but
that leap.
Look, Daniel, like I've got a British boyfriend. Like I'm not an idiot.
Ah,
you know what I mean?
You can just marry a boy.
Yeah.
You got a
yeah,
little
yeah.
insurance.
Yeah. I've
British,
I've al-
British
yeah.
people have never looked more attractive
Oh
than
my
during
god.
Brexit.
Yeah, when I said hot, I meant like like sweetheart, like permanent
Yeah.
person
Oh,
in
look-
this country.
Look at that! Look at that permanent
Yeah.
residency. Ooh,
Ooh.
it's got abs.
Yeah. I saw so many guys, like Irish guys and stuff, like people from the UK that do comedy just make a joke where it's like, I'm gonna be so attractive to people with my EU passport.
Yeah. Because you forget about the Irish, and they get their own little deal.
Yeah, they do.
But
Yeah,
you know, believe it or not, they fought quite hard for that. I think if the Netherlands, you know, get their own little little thing on, maybe you guys can have a little backstop as well.
I think we're just so happy when we get included.
Yeah, we just like to be invited to the party.
Yeah, we weren't invited to World War One. I think we were very sad about it.
Look, you're still making up for it.
Yeah.
So come on, guys, we'll bring the milk.
The Germans have they have an idea of the Dutch people that is like how do you say that? A stereotype of Dutch people.
Yeah.
You love stereotypes, so here
love 'em.
Yeah, so the German stereotype of Dutch people is they won't shut up about the war,
Really?
World War II.
Do you guys bring it up all the time? Because I saw a German comedian in the Netherlands, and
Yeah.
he would not shut up about the fucking war.
Yeah, because we love it.
Yeah, he was-
We were in that one. Thank you.
He was killing. He was having a great time. He's like, remember when we bombed everything here?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, yeah,
Oh
it's very
yeah,
funny.
that was yeah.
So wait, is there, say Brexit doesn't go well, the sweet hot visa doesn't work out with the boyfriend, could you go back to the Netherlands and do comedy? Is that an option?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I would just have to start over again, I guess.
Have you done anything there while you've been here?
No, I've just literally so when I was in January, when I was in Amsterdam, that was my first time gigging there.
Right.
So I opened for Jamali Maddox and Toomler.
How was that?
Great, yeah, that was really cool.
Like in Dutch or in English?
In English, yeah.
So you've
I
never
don't
performed in Dutch?
Well, I mean, you would have to translate all the jokes and rework them, basically.
Yeah.
Because the surprise would come earlier in the sentence.
Of course, sentence structure.
Yep.
I gotcha.
Yep.
But no, this is the thing, because I was talking to George. I just had George Zak on, and he's Greek, obviously. And it was like funny talking to him. I'd be so curious. Like, I've done sets in German just because I was interested.
Yeah.
Like, even though my German's too shit to be understood.
I'm kind of interested. I think I wanted to sort of do this first.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of like, I would like to perform in Dutch.
Yeah.
But then I said that to my dad one time and he was like, no, don't limit yourself. I was like, no, that would be broadening my scope, if anything.
Don't limit
He was
yourself.
like, if you do comedy in Dutch, then you can't go anywhere. It's like, no, I know, I'm not.
But I already do comedy in English.
Yeah, I was like,
Have you
I'm already
explained to
doing.
him what you've been doing? He just thinks you've been a nanny.
He barely knows who I am.
Just on his hill, being
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, no,
On a hill in
nanny's
Italy,
going.
he's like, where are you?
Have
yeah.
your parents seen you perform?
Yeah,
Really?
they
In
get
January?
the content,
Or here?
but not the jokes.
Was it in the Netherlands or here?
They've seen, but they're very supportive. They've been here as well.
That's
yeah.
nice.
They've been to Edinburgh and like they come to Edinburgh every year.
Wow, just to
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah,
See
yeah,
how-
they're
see how
super
their daughter's
supportive.
going.
Yeah.
That's nice.
They're
Wholesome.
great.
Again, wholesome. That's my...
My agent loves it. He's like, they're so funny when they're here because they just sit there and they're just beaming with. They don't laugh, but they're beaming with pride the whole time.
That was my experience with the Dutch audiences as well.
They beamed with pride at
And
you.
silence. Beam with silence.
Ah,
That's
yeah,
what they
yeah,
did.
yeah.
No, they were fun.
Because they're
Like,
listening, man.
yeah, they get a bad rap, I think, and I did not find that. Like, I thought they were fine. Like, but it's
My Dutch audience was nice.
your Dutch audience is cool.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Toomler's the cool, probably little shout out the two clubs in Amsterdam, Toomler and Comedy Cafe.
Yeah.
I think Toomler's supposed to be like the kind of cool comic run one.
Yeah, yeah,
and
that
Comedy
one's Comic
Cafe
Run.
is just
Yeah.
kind of like just a proper club.
Yeah.
That's around and with Dutch people and stoned English people. That was the bit I didn't understand. When I did that show, there were just classic Amsterdam touristy stoned people in the front row. And
That's
I'm like,
hilarious.
you guys are in
Why would you
Amsterdam.
come to comedy
Why?
here? Yeah.
You live in England. Just go there any night of the week.
Yeah.
And
Any
you're-
shitty pub has a comedy night.
Exactly, for free, and like you're not wasting any of your time
Yeah.
in Amsterdam. You're just there being stoned, waiting for your pizza in the front row.
To be fair, like when you're stoned is probably one of the good times to watch comedy.
I mean, no, I don't do well with the marijuanas.
I mean, I don't know, obviously.
Of course, you're Dutch. Never touch the stuff.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it for. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
I don't like it either. I mean, I've done it, but it's like
But when I was in Amsterdam, I was like, well, maybe like my girlfriend was just kind of like, should we like just because we're here? Like,
Yeah.
You know that thing where it's like here, you kind of
Yeah,
feel
yeah, yeah.
obligated to look at the London Eye from across the Thames or some shit.
See, it would have been better if mushrooms were still legal.
Are they not?
No, truffles.
Okay.
They made mushrooms illegal when someone jumped off a museum thing. They jumped off the museum.
So Amsterdam.
And a right wing government. We had a right wing government at the time.
Really?
Or right of whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, bad.
Get rid of that.
Get rid of that.
Australia's doing that at the moment with drugs at music festivals. They're they're really clamping down on music festivals.
Dude, music festivals are boring if you're not on drugs.
I know, but like in Australia,
That's the whole
like
point.
this is how safe Australia is.
Right.
Our big death rate is coming from like one person dying at a music festival every 3 months.
Yeah.
That's all the deaths. That's all
No
the
one ever
deaths in
dies.
Sydney. No one dies otherwise. And people are like, we need to stop these fucking deaths. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I think they're gonna find a way.
They're going to clamp.
People are
Yeah.
gonna find a way to die. If they're dying at music festivals, good place for it.
This is what I mean. Like, anyway, so stupid.
And would you live anywhere else in the world apart from London? I always like to ask that at the end. See if there's like another place in the UK, another place in Europe. Go back to the Canadas with the nature.
Yeah, probably.
Probably Canada.
I like the idea of Toronto. I've never been. I like the idea of it.
Never been.
I've never been, but because when you live in Vancouver, like going to Toronto is just as big a trip as going back home
Yeah, true.
to the Netherlands.
It's other side.
But Amsterdam would probably be just where I would go back.
Yeah.
So
you just
it's
end
so
up.
nice. It's just a little beautiful little village.
But would you keep doing comedy, like kind of come over here? Like, is that the?
That would be the plan.
That's the
but
plan.
look, I don't have a plan B.
You don't have a plan B.
I do not have it. I am
No,
gonna
neither-
wait.
neither
I'm
do-
gonna wait for the shit to hit the fan,
Nice.
and then tell my boyfriend to propose immediately because that's what he's for.
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
What do you?
Well, I mean, it was actually really sweet. Like, I actually love him. He's not for that.
No, yeah. We know what we're
yeah.
talking about.
And like, just in case anyone's
Yeah.
like, oh.
Oh.
But I said, I might have to go home. And he was like, Mickey, I'd marry you. Like, don't be ridiculous.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And I
That's
was
nice.
like, oh, really? And he said, of course. I don't want why would I not marry you? I love you and I don't want you to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the
So I
thing.
was like, haha, I did it.
Fucking tricked
Oh,
him.
really, sweetie? Oh, that's so nice.
I had no idea.
Oh, I had no idea. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I think it's a perfect note to end it on.
All right.
British,
well, thanks for having
any
me.
British listeners who are gross looking, go find yourself a nice European lady.
Yeah.
You can do it. This is your time.
Yeah.
You can be their visa,
Yeah.
their dream.
Yeah.
All right. Where can people find you?
They can find me online.
Online.
My name is Micky Overman, and it's spelled Micky, no E. Thank you. And people get it wrong,
Yeah, that's all right.
but it's I'm on Instagram and Twitter
At Micky Overman.
At Micky Overman because I'm the only one with that name.
The original.
Yep.
Lovely.
And so it's very easy. And come to my shows.
Any shows coming up?
I'm doing on my website mickyoverman.com because I'm the only one.
Only one.
You can see like where I'm doing previews for my new show. I love my new show. Please come.
Love the new show. This is the Dutch show.
Yeah.
The fake Dutch show.
The fake
Or
Dutch
the real
show.
the
Also,
fake real Dutch
if
show.
anyone comes from this show, I'm doing a reveal in the middle of it where I'm like, I'm Dutch. I don't know. I keep talking about how it's a Dutch comedy show.
And then like this is the big part of the show.
I
in
do
the
a
middle.
big reveal, and I'm like, everyone always knows already, either from my accent or just from me talking about it
Yeah, just
constantly.
with the instead of the beer on the stool, it's the milk on the stool.
Yeah.
It's like, I think she might be Dutch. This could be a Dutch person. All right, thanks so much.
Thanks
Micky
for
Overman.
having me.
Goddamn pleasure.
Can't stop. The more emotion I put into it, the harder I rock. The harder I rock, the more emotional I get. Yeah.
All right, that was my chat with Micky Overman. Super interesting. How dare she ask during whether or not it was interesting? I had no idea about the Netherlands school system being that ruthless when you're like 12 years old. It's like, okay, we're going to separate you into 3 different groups, and only the top group can go to university, and you can drop out of that group really easily to go to any of the other groups. But if you're in the other groups, you cannot move up. You have reached your potential as far as we're concerned at age 12. Oh man, that was wild. I just couldn't even fathom that. Like, that's too much for a 12. I think it's too much for an 18-year-old to choose what they want to do at university. Like, I think that's a lot to put on someone. But like 12, it's like, yeah, I think we got a measure of you as a human being now. You know, you got one of those analog watches, not the digital watch. You're a thinker. We want you in higher education. That's what we need. And just the sandwich thing and the milk. Is anyone else bothered by the milk thing? Maybe it's just because, I'm Australian, so I'm still imagining Australian climates and just these Dutch people in 40-degree weather having milk for lunch. Like tradies on a work site, just like in the high vis, just with their milk. I mean, I guess in Australia they drink flavored milk. That's like kind of a tradie thing. They get around, the dare iced coffees and like the chocolate flavored milk. And like with cigarettes. I don't know about that. I don't know about them as a combo. And obviously the Dutch wouldn't be about that at all either, because they seem to like having everything very separate. A sandwich with one filling. That is nuts. Not even a lot of the filling, just mainly bread. Oh man. I thought Europeans had nailed the sandwich ratio, because I think America does that quite well, and generally Europeans do that quite well. Like they have more filling than sandwich, if that makes sense. Like there's more filling than bread. Because like in Australia, I think they overwhelm the sandwich with the bread. You get like a big thick bun, and there's like barely any toppings, and that's rubbish. But like, yeah, maybe the Dutch are like, big slices of this beautiful European brown bread, and then like one tiny slice of ham in the middle, and then mustard. Clearly, mustard. Anyway, it was very, very interesting to chat to her. I'm so glad that Micky took the time, just because, yeah, I think, as you can tell, like the Dutch, they don't really revel in their culture. Like they don't kind of slam it down your throat like in that American way with like the flags and this is what we do, and if you're not sure if something's American, we're going to put a toothpick with an American flag on it just to make sure that you know that this is ours, you know, like what they did with the moon, essentially. Anyway, super interesting chat. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Go check out Micky live. We just gigged together over the weekend. She's hilarious, and I guarantee you'll have a good time if you go see her. Other than that, Brexit in the last week, as I mentioned a little bit in the intro, is looking more shaky. Looking more shaky by the day. Maybe Micky won't have to get married to stay in the country, but hey, there's always getting married for love, because we all know that works out brilliantly every time. Thanks for listening this week, guys. As always, if you enjoyed it, please subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Laughable. There's all the different ways to subscribe to the podcast, different ways to listen to it, and get your mates around it if you think they would find it interesting. I'll be back next week with another European comedian as my guest. Other than that, have a good one, guys. Catch you later. Get at me, at Dan Muggleton, on Twitter, and hopefully I see some of you at the Australian Comedians Comedy Show this Sunday, March 3rd, at the Backyard Comedy Club. All right, cheers. Talk to you later.
Shawnee's from the UK. My man, Mr. Naji in Berlin. Yeah, all the German producers, Canada. My man, Dutch Massive from Florida. My name is Mishu the Drum Kid. I hope you enjoyed the album. Born in a land of 1,000 hills.